Hi, love. It's Christina Arylo here with a special love letter to you from my heart to yours. I like to think of these as divine sparks for your heart and soul. Normally on Thursdays, I drop in here with a feminine power time via podcast. And today I felt really compelled to be able to come to you via video so we could really see eye to eye. I want to talk to you about something that I think is affecting so many of us, and it is burnout and exhaustion and overwhelm and feeling stressed and stretched past our capacities. And I've been in an inquiry for the last, really several years about how do you do what you love? How do you take care of who you love? How do you have personal success? And also, how do you do that in a way that it doesn't sacrifice your own personal happiness and health? And if I was to sit here and list all to you, like the 25 different things you should do to take care of yourself, you would know that. None of us need any more to-do lists about what the things are we should do to take care of ourselves. Here's the 10 things to do in order to take care of yourself better. We all know the information. But what's going on for all of us is at a deeper level. And it's often why I do the Feminine Power Time podcast, because it allows me to go deeper with you. So I'm going to do a little bit longer of a video here today, but not longer than 11 minutes or so, to give you permission and also an understanding of why it is so challenging for you and for many of us to find a rhythm to our lives that is sustainable. And then share with you a couple of the practices that I do on a daily basis that create that rhythm for me. Because here's the thing, and I'm just going to have to set this camera down here for a second. I'm in my backyard underneath my apple tree, under my blue chairs. It's a place that I go and I sit on a regular basis to just really relax and take in some breath. I do it usually at midday. And one of the things I see in all of us that are looking for balance or for harmony is we haven't set up our days correctly. Most of us get up in the morning, we jump out of bed, and then you run through your day. And then you fall, you try to get everything done, and then by the time the end of the night comes, you end up in a heap of exhaustion. And so when you start your day that way and you end your day that way, that's exactly what happens. So some of the things that we need to do, that we get to do, so if we want to have this balance, if we want to have this harmony, is to put structures into place that hold that harmony and space for us. So for example, what happens when you get up in the morning? Do you jump right out of bed? Or do you sit there and lay there for a few moments with yourself, and maybe even more than a few moments, a few minutes, let's say 3 minutes, every morning to connect with yourself, to connect with spirit? Are you connecting with your body before you're connecting, I used to say with your blueberry, or your blackberry, or blueberry, with your blackberry? Are you connecting with internet and Facebook before you're even taking care of your body? When you start your day in that way, you start your day in alarm, you start your day in stress, you start your day disconnected. So one simple thing that you can start doing, and I have done this myself for over a decade, it's something that I teach in the Love Club every month. We have a different daily practice we put into place. In my Feminine Superpower Year program, we put a different daily practice in every day. And it's what strengthens us to bring in that energy of taking care of what it is that you need. And so I'm going to share a little practice here with you that you can start your day with every morning. It's one I started to do 5 years ago when I sold my house and went on the road to teach self-love. And I had 25 events due in 4 months. And I knew if I didn't start my day connected to myself, I wasn't going to get what I needed, and I was going to deplete myself. And it's one of the reasons why we as women, and men too, we end up depleting ourselves and going into exhaustion or overwhelm or burnout, is because we empty our tank. And just like a gas tank in a car, once it goes below half full or a quarter full, it takes more time and more energy and more money to fill up the tank. Well, the same thing is true of you. So self-care isn't just going to the spa every so often or, taking, a weekend retreat, although those are really important times when you do weekend retreats, which is why I do weekend retreats for myself and why I hold space for others to do them. They're like shifting points. They're like dynamite to say, I'm going to change my patterns. Whatever is out of balance, I'm going to put it into balance. And so you do need those special retreats during the year It's why I retreat on the 4 feminine superpower days of the solstices and the equinoxes, and why I hold space for so many of you to do it as well, because there are times that we can slow down and breathe and take what I love to call a power pause. And I really believe that if you just took a power pause, if we all just took a power pause on the winter solstice, on the spring equinox, on the fall equinox, on summer solstice, when the Earth's energies are shifting and changing. And I just did this a couple days ago. I know I'm ahead of myself for fall equinox, but since I'll be at Kripalu on the East Coast teaching over the weekend before, and then I'll be doing a live stream event for those of you that can't come in person but want to do something virtual. I did mine first, so I got the download. And I spent the last 3 days really restoring and really feeling into where my body was out of balance and what my physical body was saying, hey, over here, we need to bring this more into balance. And I decided to go back to instead of my daily coffee habit, which it had become, to go back to my weekend coffee, and then finding some new recipes for my warm, beautiful beverage and ritual that I love in the morning. That was one small thing. It also gave me permission to restart my Pilates class that I had given up over the summer, and to really re-engage with that. And I found that in that pause. I also found in that superpower pause how I want to spend my life force this next quarter of the year, and saying no to some things and saying yes to some other things. And that's what happens when you put those power pauses into place. So what I'm inviting you into is a deeper conversation around self-care and giving you some of the real sacred tools and powerful tools, because I really don't think we need more information. I think we need more practices that put a structure into place that allow you to keep your reserves high. And if they are going below, what I like to call half tank, that you know it before you get to the bottom of the tank. And that you also have these times in your life to really get clear about where you're spending your life force. I'm a big believer that anything is possible. And I do believe that we have infinite possibility, but I also know that we have a limited amount of life force. The yogis talk about it. They say you only have so many breaths that you breathe. And once you breathe them all, that's it. You go. And that's why we teach breathing slowly and slowing down, because it creates a longer life, not to mention that it brings more energy and prana into your body that refuels your soul. That's why I teach the downshifting rituals at the end of the day, so that we have a ritual that holds us so that we don't just fall into a pile of exhaustion. So what I can do for you here in this 11-minute video, because there's so much more, and for those of you that want more, you are so welcome to join me for the Love Club. We're opening up our 6-month membership, which we only do once a year around August and September. So for those that want to go deeper into self-care and self-pleasure and self-esteem and get into the root of self-love and to grow that, so you can really keep that promise of, I take care of myself, even if that means disappointing another. So that starts on September 4th. And for those of you that can come out to the East Coast for the Grace Under Pressure weekend, come for Spring Equinox, and we'll get into where you're out of balance, and we'll really tune into where to focus your life force. And if you can't come in person, you can join me virtually on September 22nd. And for right now, what I want to give you is the daily practice that we're going to start actually on September 4th in the Love Club. It's my favorite self-care practice, and I'm going to invite you to start it. And if you like it, come and join us, or just keep doing it. I've been doing it every day for 5 years, and it goes like this. Okay, 3 parts. You ready? Okay, close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And then I want you to imagine that you're in your bed. And it's morning, and you're waking up. Now, the first question is how are you waking up? Are you waking up via an alarm that's shocking your system awake? Or are you waking up with gentleness and openness? If you have a buzzing alarm clock, get rid of it pronto, number 1. And number 2, find something that is more opening and soothing. I play a harp on my phone, for example. Okay, now go ahead and close your eyes again. You've woken up. Okay, open your eyes. Oh, I'm awake. Okay, step 2. Close your eyes, and I want you to imagine that you're sticking a dipstick into your body, into your energy tank. And to get a reading, and do this with me right now, on a scale of 0 to 100, with 100 being totally full, 50 being half full, and 0 being empty, where are you at? 0 to 100, check into your energy tank. What's the number you get? Okay, I got a 71. And Sorry, I had to keep moving the camera around here. It's on my lap. So here's the scale. If you are below a 50, you are serving from your reserves, and you need to receive tomorrow. You need to receive pronto. If you don't receive, you are in jeopardy of going into exhaustion and burnout and overwhelm. If you're between a 50 and a 75, you still need to receive during the day, or else what will happen, you need input into your beautiful chalice, which is yourself. If you don't get it, you will deplete yourself and you will go below 50 and you will head into the burnout and overwhelm zone. If you're above 75 and you don't receive and you only give for the day, you'll be okay, but always better to keep receiving. So that's the scale. And I want you to close your eyes again. And then I want you to ask your inner wisdom a very important question. Take a breath. What is it, beloved, that you need to receive today? What is it, beloved, that you need to receive today? And just let a word or a symbol come in to you, to let your inner wisdom feed it to you. Peace, joy, hugs, smiles, a bath, a walk, an apple. And if you don't get anything, just make something up. If you haven't been talking to your inner wisdom in a while, it might not speak. And go ahead and open your eyes. Now here's the thing. You need to give that to yourself no matter what. Never says a 7-day trip to Tahiti, ever, ever, ever. It's always simple things like hugs or peace or, jump on my trampoline or whatever. And sometimes you may not even know what that is, that you're actually, what it means. One day I got peace. I'm like, I don't even know what that means. And later that day, I found myself on the streets of Brooklyn trying to get to an event at NYU. And Noah and my assistant were trying to find the directions, and they were like Tweedledee and Tweedledum bumping into each other. And I was, starting to get stressed out. But I remembered, peace. I need to receive peace. So I just started breathing yogi breaths and meditating right there in the middle of Brooklyn. And within 3 minutes, they figured it out. So I didn't waste my energy on that. I saved it for the amazing event I was about to have. Now, this practice is one you can do in 3 minutes or less every day. And I've done it, like I said, for over 5 years. I've taught it to hundreds of thousands of people, and it makes such a difference. Because here's the thing, when it comes to self-care, if you don't know what you need, love, there's no way for you to get it. And we don't want to wait until you're depleted, until you ask. Self-love is asking yourself every day, what do you need? Self-care is making sure you get what you need, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. Every day. And that isn't selfish. That is you keeping your reserves full so that you can serve more. And that is part of the answer to the question that I had of how do we do what you love? How do you do what you love? Take care of who you love. Have professional success. Have what you need at a physical level. And do it in a way in which your personal happiness and health and well-being is included in that equation. Part of it is the simple practice I just gave you by checking in on your energy tank, knowing where your energy is, and then making adjustments accordingly. This last weekend, part of the reason I took 3 days is because I've just spent over 3 months putting together and birthing the Path of Self-Love, my self-love teacher training program. It took so much energy from me, and in a good way, just like giving birth always does. And I needed to rest. I needed to restore deeply. So for 3 days, I thought about nothing. I planted flowers, and I drummed, and I read Gloria Steinem's autobiography, went to the movies. Noah's been gone, so I took myself on a little trip. And so these are the kinds of practices and rhythms we start to put into our bodies, into our lives that create a more sustainable harmony. That is why we also, and I, and the women that I work with, and brave men too, when we start to put in these power pauses on these feminine superpower days of equinox and the solstices, there's 8 of them, but just the 4 is a great place to start, that gives you permission, and this is the big word when it comes to self-care and taking care of yourself and really serving from that full chalice and having the vitality and energy that you need to do everything you want and take care of what you desire, is permission. And I know sometimes it's hard to give yourself permission. So here, I am here right now to give yourself permission, to give you permission to take care of yourself. What do you need, love? Give it to yourself today, and ask yourself tomorrow, and ask yourself tomorrow. And in a world that goes so fast, make the choice to set your own rhythm and your own tempo. Start practicing the equinoxes and the solstices as times of reflection and restoration and rebalance. I'll be here with you. You can always find me leading a retreat or a circle, and you're absolutely welcome to join us for the Love Club, which will take you through February 13th, Self-Love Day 2017. You can find out more on my website at ChristinaArylo.com. The Love Club, go to join the Love Club. jointheloveclub.com. I look forward to seeing you in circle somewhere. And for now, sending you off with much love and a huge permission slip love to take care of you, because you are the most important resource, asset, beloved in your life. Take care of yourself well. Much love.